The Honourable Member Calgary-Shaw, followed by Edmonton Riverview.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we heard another heart-wrenching story of a young child who died under the province's care and whose parents are barred from speaking out. For the province to forbid grieving parents from even mentioning their child's name publicly is simply cruel and unreasonable. The Minister of Human Services says this is to protect their privacy, but across Canada, almost all provinces lift this ban or won't enforce it when a child dies. So, Minister, is the legislation really meant to protect privacy, or is it simply meant to protect the interests of this government?
First of all, Mr. Speaker, I think it's important to get the facts right. The facts are that there's no prohibition on a parent talking about their child. The fact is that there's a publication ban. The media cannot report the name or the picture of a child who's died in care. And that is what protects the privacy of the family. So the parent can talk in the community and often does and should, and that's part of the normal healing process. Absolutely. But we have indicated that although we, in the 2011 legislation, made it discretionary optional to be able to allow that information, we will meet in January. We will develop feedback.
With a judge labeling the practice of making up names or only referring to children by their initials in fatality inquiries as dehumanizing, once again to the same minister, is this dehumanizing law really designed to protect privacy, or is it simply there to protect the interests of this government?
Mr. Speaker, it was designed to protect privacy. But again, this honourable member and other critics are invited as we sit down in January with the best experts available to talk about what information should be made public in the interests of assurance and what information should not in the interests of privacy. We will do that. We will bring back the best policy in the country, if not in North America, and we will go forward to making sure that we have that right balance. It's a very difficult decision, Mr. Speaker. It's one that's not made easily. But it is important to protect other siblings, caregivers, and others who might be unfairly accused, might be unfairly represented, and that's...
Honourable Member.
Mr. Speaker, given that the publication bans appear to be nothing more than a smokescreen to protect this government and keep the public in the dark about problems facing this system, will the minister commit today to addressing the issue and changing the legislation that gags parents after the death of a child in care?
I would reiterate for the honourable member, Mr. Speaker, that parents are not gagged. Parents can talk about their child, and they need to talk about their child. What is not allowed is the publication of a name or a picture for a child who died in care, and that's because there are many others who may be affected. There is a discretion to allow that publication now. I brought forward that in the Child and Youth Advocate Act in the fall of 2011. That discretion is sometimes utilized in appropriate circumstances, but you have to look at the circumstances on a case-by-case basis. We will, as I said, have a full discussion on this in January. We will bring that back to the legislature in the spring, and we will have...